In this video, you are going to learn how to install XAMPP on Windows. Go to Google and search for XAMPP, and then click on the first link to apachefriends.org. Let's now click on the XAMPP for Windows button. Now we will wait for the download to be completed. The download has completed, so now you may run the executable. It might take a little while for the executable to actually run. Okay, so now let's allow XAMPP to be installed. Hit yes. This warning informs you that you shouldn't install XAMPP on the Program Files folder if you have UAC User Account Control enabled. For this reason, you can either disable UAC or simply install XAMPP in the root of C drive. Let's click OK so that we are aware of this warning. Hit Next. In the Components section of the XAMPP bundle, you only need Apache, MySQL, PHP, and PHPMyAdmin. Or you could simply install all of these components by default. Let's hit Next. Now, as we've seen in the warning at the beginning of the installation process, make sure that the selected folder is XAMPP under the C drive because of the UAC issue. And let's hit Next. Okay, let's hit Next again. Our selected language will be English. We don't need this option, so you can uncheck this. Hit Next. Let's hit Next. And finally, we are now installing XAMPP. The installation process may take a little while, so I am going to pause the recording and resume it once a warning shows up regarding the Windows Defender firewall. Okay, so the warning from Windows Defender Firewall is displayed, and it shows almost at the end of the installation process. It's important that you allow Apache to communicate in private networks. Otherwise, you won't be able to see your web applications hosted in XAMPP from other computers in your network. The access to public networks is not recommended for development purposes, unless you want to use this computer as a production server. Okay, so let's now hit the Allow Access button. And finally, you have completed installing XAMPP. Let's hit Finish. And there you go. Here's our XAMPP control panel. So you can see here several modules, and the ones that we will need are mainly Apache and MySQL. Apache is our web server, and MySQL is our database engine. Let's start Apache and MySQL. Now we have the same warning from Windows Defender Firewall in regards to MySQL. And let's do the exact same thing as we did before. Allow private networks, but not allowing public networks. And let's hit Allow Access. Okay, so we now have both Apache and MySQL running. Apache runs on port 80 for HTTP and 443 for HTTPS. And MySQL runs on port 3306. Let's now test our development environment. Type localhost on your web browser, and there you go. you have successfully installed XAMPP.